All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of the Bahamas Sunfish Nationals here in beautiful Elizabeth Harbour, great Exuma. Yesterday was a pretty exciting day. We're getting ready to show you a quick recap of what took place, but the sailors, as you can see on the screen, they have just checked in and they're getting ready to start this race. But this is day 2 of Sunfish Nationals. Thanks again for watching. If you're just joining us, feel free to share this broadcast and invite persons to tune in with you. But race 1 is about to get started. You heard the horn blow, so race 1 is about to get started shortly, but stay tuned for the action.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second day of the 2023 Bahamas Junior Sunfish Nationals. We have race 5 underway. Beautiful conditions. It's breezy once again, so the kids are going to be working hard. We've shortened the course to give them a little bit of help so they won't have to expel a lot of energy per race. We're trying to do 3 races today. This is race number 5. And just glancing out, looks like we have a lot of the same characters towards the front. Craig Ferguson appears to be in first place. He's on the top of your screen in the blue sailboat. And close to him is going to be the white sail. That's going to be Joshua Weech. The yellow, lighter yellow sail towards the top, that's Joss. And the other blue sail is Norman. Those are the 4 top competitors from yesterday. So they appear to have gotten a pretty good start once again. And on the bottom of your screen right there, that's Silas. And coming up underneath him is one of the Exuma boats. That looks like that might be Adron Knowles. He's sailing with somebody else today. So a lot of the guys have decided to take 2 sailors today to kind of help them get through some of the big waves and the big wind and save a little bit of energy. But it's another beautiful day in Elizabeth Harbour as usual. So we're very excited to be back out here. We have more than enough wind to sail, so we're going to test the kids' endurance, their athleticism today, their tactical awareness on the water, see who can read the shifts and see who can react the fastest. Generally, whoever reacts the fastest to the shifts tends to do the best. So right here on your screen there, you're going to see the white boat. That is Joshua Weech. Directly to windward of him is Craig Ferguson. Directly windward of him is Norman Cartwright. And then the yellow boat further to the wind is Joss. The yellow boat coming towards you right now is Tanaj. So everyone is racing upwind. It's not a very long upwind course, but they're going to turn around the upwind mark and then go all the way down to the gate, and then they have to go from the gate, which is furthest downwind, all the way back up to the windward mark, and that's where your endurance really kicks in, because that's a long, probably 15 to 20 minutes of hiking and working really hard through the waves and concentrating. But that's generally where you separate the top of the fleet from everybody else, whoever can sail the best upwind leg from that gate all the way back up to the windward mark. That's usually who ends up on top. And we shortened the final leg, which would be the second gate rounding. So after they go around the windward mark, they're going to go all the way back down to the gate, and then they go from the gate right back here to the finish, and that is a pretty short sprint. So really it's a bit of a short sprint to the first windward mark, then a long downwind, and then a long upwind to the windward mark again, then another long downwind, and then a short sprint to the finish. So let's see who's feeling pretty good after yesterday, who's got a little bit of gas left in the tank, and who's feeling a little fatigued and tired. And let's just hope that everybody's boats hold together. We had about 8 breakdowns yesterday, so we're trying to see if we can get through all the races today without any serious breakdowns. So right now it would appear that Norman Cartwright is probably your leader. He appears to be the lead boat out of that pack right there. Craig Ferguson is right behind him. Joshua Weech is right behind Craig. And there's Joss going under the boom of Joshua Weech right now. So those are most likely your top 4 boats, and they are on the starboard ley line heading to the mark. You can see the mark on your right side of the screen there. Big orange buoy. So we got the same 4 up towards the front. Norman got off to a really good start, so he is the current leader. And then right behind him is Craig and Josh, both of which are tied for first place overall in points. They each shared a first and a second in the races yesterday, so I'm sure they're more concerned with each other and less concerned about Norman, who's pretty far behind them in points. But we'll see what happens. A good start for Norman so far. He's jumped out in front. He's around the mark clean, and now he'll start the long downwind run to the gate. Here comes Craig behind him. They're giving that buoy lots of room because the waves could easily push you down, and that buoy is very large, so you want to make sure your boom can clear it. So you're going to give that buoy a lot of extra space. You can see Joss coming up. He's probably got 15 feet between him and the buoy, just to be safe. Make sure you do not touch that. If you touch the buoy and a competitor sees it and calls protest, you have to do a 360 turn, so you don't want to do that. So here we got our 4 leaders around the top. And let's see who's coming up next. Here comes another yellow boat. That's Tonnage. Yeah. Nope. That's 117. That's Keanu Hutchinson around in 5th. There's Tonnage coming up on port tack on the yellow boat right there. And going across his bow. Let's see, who's that? All right, that looks like number 11. So that's Delano Davis. And there is Tonnage Manos around. There is Noshawn McKenzie around. Good start for him. There's Christina and Emmett in number 11. They're about to tack. So coming to the buoy right here, that's Dai Major, number 2, sailing by himself. He struggled a little bit yesterday in the big breeze by himself, but he is going to give it a shot today. All right, here we go. We'll pile up at the buoy. Probably a little bit of a protest against the white boat if they wanted to go for it. And the other boat coming up underneath on port tack and tacking at the mark. That's a big no-no. So the number 11 could file a protest against them and make them do turns if they wanted to. Probably going to keep on sailing and not bother with it. You need to get out of irons quickly and get your boat moving again, guys. There we go. All right, here's another white boat. This is from Nassau. This is Jaron Francis. BAH 197. Sailed really well yesterday. Currently in, I believe, 6th in the standings before any throwout races, so he's doing really well. But the fleet's pretty tight. Everyone's kind of close. We're looking out here from our start boat as the competitors, as they come by the starting line. It looks like Craig has overtaken and Joshua have overtaken Norman. So it's close. Still the 4 up at the front there, but it looks like Craig Ferguson may have taken the lead on the downwind. Joshua Weech currently 2nd, and Norman 3rd, and Joss 4th. We're going to take a little break. We'll come right back to you. 2021. It's in the books, 4 races completed. The fleet started out pretty large, about 25 boats. By lunchtime we were down to 13. Quite a few breakdowns, but that was to be expected in the heavy breeze and chop. We have some less experienced kids who are giving it a shot for their first time, so we commend them for giving it a try. But when you capsize and there's a lot of waves and wind and everything, then stuff tends to break. So we weren't surprised to have a lot of breakdowns. When we went out after lunchtime, we were down to 14 boats, and that was pretty much, the top part of the fleets that were going out, and they performed very, very well. Not a lot of issues on the second half of the day. On the leaderboard, it's what we were expecting. It's Craig and Joshua battling it out. They were trading off first and seconds for the entire regatta. So they're tied for first going into tomorrow. One of the bigger surprises is Joss Knowles from the Exuma Sailing Club, third on every single race. Almost beat one of the 2 big guys on the final race, was about 2 seconds short. So he's sailing extremely well, not fatiguing and getting tired as the day's gone on. He seems to have gotten more better and stronger, so very happy with him, representing Exuma very well. Tanaj, of course, sailing extremely well, very consistent. He's currently 4th overall. Christina Manos is really surprising everybody. She is currently 5th, along with Norman Cartwright. So really surprised to see her up there. She's got Emmett sailing with her, so that duo has been pretty impressive today so far. But on the whole, we've been pretty happy with the kids. I know it's very difficult out there, very tiring. We're asking a lot of them. So we're going to let them celebrate tonight with a little pizza party, have some fun at Splash, play some pool, have fun with all their friends. And then they'll be back to work tomorrow with the last 3 races. We're hoping to get all 7 races in. And then we will crown the 2023 Bahamas Junior Sunfish Champion. right, we're back. Second lap. We got guys working their way back up to the wind. Coming right for you in the middle of the screen, that's Keanu Hutchinson, sail number 117. Leeward of him, that's Tanaj Manos, sail number 26. And Tanaj has currently got a good hold on 4th place overall, so he really just needs to have a solid 3-race performance today without any big mistakes or breakdowns, and he should have 4th place wrapped up. Leeward of him, that's Dai Major. Dai recently won the fall regatta we had 2 weeks ago here in Exuma, so he's coming off a pretty big win, sailing very well in this heavy breeze by himself. He's one of our smaller sailors. Chose not to take a second sailor with him. That's everybody's strategy. Sometimes you want to go lighter and faster, and sometimes you want to have extra weight so you can hold the boat flatter and maybe point a little bit better. So, you know, it's all a trade-off. On the downwind, you'll be faster with one person. On the upwind, you might be faster with 2 people. So that's all up to them. Here's our leaders. Joss Knowles right in the bottom of your screen, still behind Craig. Yeah, that's Craig and Joshua. And you're going to see Norman approaching from the left side of your screen very soon. So right now, Craig is in first. Josh is in second, Norman's in third, Joss Knowles is in fourth. So they have not changed positions since the downwind mark. And it looks like Norman may have opened up the gap a little bit on Joss. But Joss is in a good spot in third overall, got third in every race yesterday. So he, again, just like Tanaj, just needs to have a solid performance today, and that's where he should end up. You can see over here closer to the right side of the course, so we got Keanu and Tanaj battling it out. Club rivals for sure. And we got Dai in the red, white, and blue sail on the starboard tack as well, coming right towards us. Then we have one of the Nassau boats with the white sail a little below them, working their way upwind. So the back of the pack, is a little more spread out. Everybody has got their own lane, their own space. Not a lot of close battles going on right now. You can see the pink sail right there in the middle of your screen. That's No Sean McKenzie. Had an unfortunate breakdown in the first day, so he missed 2 of the races. But besides that, he's been pretty good. Here's our leader pack working their way up to the second windward mark. This is the gauntlet right here where they got to go from the gate all the way up to the windward mark. So this is where your endurance kicks in, your athleticism, see how in shape you are, see what your stamina's like. And Norman is hanging in there. He's still behind him, but he's very, very close. So he's sailing well today. And it looks like Craig's most likely going to be the first one to the mark. Everybody's got more tacks to do, but he'll most likely get there first. And then it'll be a nice run down to the gate, and then a short sprint up here to the finish. So the hard part is almost over for them. Once they go around that mark, they can let the sail out, surf some waves, catch their breath a little bit, and then they can be ready for the final sprint up to the finish. Yeah, you can see the mark right there on the right side. So Craig will likely tack first for that mark. There he goes. And he'll come right up very close to it, and then he'll tack around it with some space to spare, make sure he doesn't touch it. Joshua, same thing. So these guys are coming on port tack to the mark right now. Norman was very close to them, and he likely went onto the starboard ley line, so he'll be coming on starboard. So if there was any sort of lift for Norman, he might have caught him, but it looks like it's not going to happen. Craig's about to tack and go around the mark. Yeah, there he is. He's in first place. Here comes Norman on starboard. He is going to be, he can't make the buoy, so he's got to pinch again, tack again as well. So same as round 1. Actually, no, Norman was first on round 1, so now it's Craig in first, now it's Joshua in second, then it's going to be Norman, and then it's going to be Joss. And those are your 4 leaders, once again, at the windward mark. And that's likely where they'll end up, barring some sort of big shift on the course or a breakdown of equipment. They're pretty spread out at this point, so we expect them to finish that way. Here's Joss coming towards us right here. He's still in good shape. In 4th place, that'll be a good finish for him. And then that's Delano Davis tacking behind him in the white sail. And we got Keanu and Tanaj over there on the left. They're actually getting pretty close. Someone passed somebody. I don't know if Tanaj has caught Keanu or if Keanu still has the lead, and it's been whittled down to very, very small. So we'll see when they get a little closer. Here's Joss going around the windward mark now, giving it lots of space. Alright, he's around, so now he's going to just go downwind, surf some waves, try to maybe catch up to Norman a little bit. Might be out of reach, we'll see. Let's see who's next coming to the mark here. We got two yellow sails, identical sails, number 26 and 117. Keanu Hutchinson and Tanaj Manos, very close on that last cross. So now we've got the boat on the right side of your screen is on port tack and would have to give way to the boat on the left side of your screen. They're both going to have to tack again. So I would expect the boat on the left to tack pretty soon to try to block. Okay, so Tanaj is on port, he's dipped Keanu. Keanu's going to tack, and he did that to kind of hold his position. So now Tanaj can't tack until Keanu decides to tack for the mark. So that was a strategic tack by Keanu. So now Keanu's going to turn, make the mark. Tanaj is going to turn behind him. So Keanu will get to the mark first, but Tanaj really closed that gap because Keanu had a bit of a lead at the gate. So the gap is closed a lot now. So now they'll race down to the gate and back up to the finish. We'll see who gets ahead of who. That's going to be a duel all the way down. All right, who's this right here? This is one of the Exuma boats. That's Trayvon and Jason. They missed the start, so they're just going around for practice. So they're technically not in the race for the score right here. Here's No Sean McKenzie. Look at him. He's gained a couple of boats. Good for him. He caught Mr. Davis. No Sean's going to be around the mark. There he goes. This should be Delano Davis, number 11. He's around the mark, hot on his heels, and right behind him is Emmett and Christina. Or I should say Christina and Emmett, because she's at the tiller, so she's the skipper of the boat. There she goes. Another good day for them. All right, excellent. And as they pass us right here at the starting line, I'm looking out and I'm seeing Craig Ferguson still in first with a nice little lead over Joshua Weech, and then a nice gap to Norman Cartwright, and then a nice gap to Joss, and then a pretty big gap to the rest of the fleet. So that's where they're stacking up. We're going to come back and give you the finish. It's going to be a short upwind sprint from the gate right here to the finish boat. Should be a good one. Stay tuned.
Saturday. All right, guys, so we're back live. We're here with the finish from the first race for the day. So it looks like it's going to be Craig who's going to take first place. As you can see, they're about to cross the finish. Right after Craig, looks like that's Norman. And so this has been a close race today. But this is day 2 of Sunfish Nationals. As you can see, Craig is about to cross the finish right there. But it's another exciting day here. It's a beautiful day in Elizabeth Harbour. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the first time Sunfish Nationals was hosted here. You heard the whistle blow. There's Craig going across the finish, second place. Look like there's going to be Norman there crossing. Who do we have here in third, Dallas?
Norman Cartwright.
That's Norman. Who came second?
Joshua Weech.
Joshua Weech. My apologies. Joshua Weech. That's who was in second place. There you see Norman Cartwright. They just crossed in third. And so first, we had Craig. Second was Joshua. And third place was Norman Weech. And then right there steadily in fourth place, you see Josh Knowles. So continue to follow the action. This is race 1. They're going to get in 3 races today, so the other 2 races will take place immediately after. As soon as these guys cross the finish, they're going to go ahead and line up for the next 2 races. But there you see, across your screen, Josh Knowles of the Exuma Sailing Club. Continue to stay tuned. All right, again, so this was the first sunfish race of day one. Your top five was Craig, came in at first place. Second place was Joshua Weish. Third place was Norman Cartwright. Fourth is Joss Knowles. And then fifth place is Tanaj Manos. And so we're almost done with race one of day two. But thank you guys for tuning in, and continue to follow the action live. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back for race number two in just a few minutes.